here in Nigeria, armed bandits have abducted about 40 Muslim worshippers during early morning prayers at Gidon Turbe village mosque in Zamfara state. Well, according to community sources, the attackers struck early in the morning at around 5:30 surrounding the mosque before abducting the worshippers at gunpoint. The captives were later taken into forest around Gohori in Safe. The incident has thrown the community into panic, heightening the fragility of ongoing peace initiatives in the northwest, where dialogue efforts with armed groups continue to face setbacks. The northern region in Nigeria is beset with several challenges caused mostly by worsening insecurity and poverty. Children, unsurprisingly, bear the brunt of these challenges. Some reports say 80% of out-of-school children are from northern Nigeria. UNICEF's country representative, Wafa Saeed, has visited two states worst hit by the crisis, Plateau and Bauchi states. There she met with government leaders, traditional rulers, mothers, fathers, and children. In Plateau, she handed over more than 5,300 cartons of nutrition supplements that will reach 15,000 children. In Bauchi, she visited Governor Bala Mohammed, who spoke of the state's work to strengthen healthcare, from newborn care units to renovated primary health centers to scaling up investment in education.
I'm very happy to be here today in Ardo community, where we have met mother-to-mother group, mama to mama. We have met also Fathers for Health group. They explained to us that they go around house to house to talk to the mothers to make sure first if the mother is pregnant that she has the right food. They follow up on ensuring that the mothers get delivery at the facility. When the mother gets the baby, that the baby is immunized. They follow up on immunization, and they are really making a big difference. They also told us that when sometimes they face a challenge, like the husband is not compliant, they also get the support of the Father for Health group. This is a lesson that people have agency, that the community can make a big difference through their engagement, and this is what we have seen today. Really fantastic, really encouraging.
All right, I'm now joined by UNICEF Nigeria's country representative, Wafa Saeed. Wafa, glad to have you join me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's start with what was the major purpose of your visit to Bauchi and Plateau states, and what areas do both states differ or are the same in terms of the issues that confront them that you want to deal with?
So as a newly appointed representative, I visited the states to really meet the community, meet the government to understand the issues impacting children. And I think in both states, we have seen that there are quite a large number of children impacted by malnutrition. This is really a big issue. And maybe just to share with you that I visited a center where children with severe acute malnutrition are being treated. And I have seen mothers, very young mothers, and when we speak to them, you see the child less than 1 year old. The child is severely acutely malnourished. The child is not immunized. The mother herself is a child mother and has not gone to school. But at the same time, these mothers were full with faith, hope, strength, dignity, and they want their children to be the best, to be scholars. And while malnutrition, especially severe acute malnutrition, is very serious, these children were getting treatment and were getting better. So we know the problem, but there is a solution for it, and it's working.
There's a problem, there's a solution, it's working. Interesting that the mothers are upbeat about their children getting something better than they did get. You talked about the commitment of the state to children through its investment in the Child Nutrition Fund. Talk to us about how committed really and how that commitment has impacted the children.
Okay, so you know we have this mechanism called the Child Nutrition Fund, and the Child Nutrition Fund allows states to double whatever investment they have. So in Plateau State, the government has invested around $200,000, and this allowed us to buy nutrition supplies for children. They're called small quantity lipid-based nutrition supplement is basically to make sure that they are added to the food for kids, to make sure they have a good diet. So the fact that the government put funding that can be so much is a sign also of commitment. We have also seen the same in Bauchi State. But I just want to flag one thing. We also have seen quite a large number of children who are severely acutely malnourished, and while there is an investment, we need to do more because there is still a gap between the response and between the needs. But I think that commitment, that investment is there, but we need to scale it up.
Yeah, that's when you were talking about nearly half of the children under 5 are stunted. And my question is, what are you doing and what do you think government should do, which is what you said now, urgently as it were, to keep this momentum sustained?
So when a child is severely acutely malnourished, he or she are 11 times at risk of dying compared to a nourished child. So that's a matter of death, life and death. So we really need to have more resources into to what we call ready-to-use food. The good thing is that there are factories in Nigeria, so that's cuts on the timing of getting the supply. So that's one thing. On the same time, we also need to work on prevention. And as UNICEF, we are also working with governments, including Nigeria, so that we can promote the production and consumption of local food that is sustainable, affordable, and that is accessible. So that's one thing. So we also have to work on prevention. And there are simple things, like the mothers that I have seen in Bauchi, is that if the mothers start exclusive breastfeeding of the child for 6 months, that by itself makes a big difference. So we need to work on all fronts.
Yeah, but do they understand the power of breastfeeding? And are the mothers even feeding well enough to breastfeed?
So that's a very important point that you've raised. Only 1 in 3 children in Nigeria are exclusive breastfeed. And we know that if the mother...
In the entire Nigeria?
Yes, that's the average. That's the average. That's the average overall.
1 in 3?
1 in 3 are exclusive breastfeed for 6 months. It means having no food, just relying on
exclusive, yeah.
Exactly. So that is really very low because,
Very, very low.
Yeah, we know that the mothers, even if they are malnourished, they can still breastfeed their children. So that's something by itself that makes a big difference. And the women that I have seen, their power, their agency, working with others, without anything else, just that kind of, decision to exclusively breastfeed the child makes a big difference.
You were inspired no limits by the activities of community groups. What is it that inspired you most about their activities, and which most stood out for you among these community groups? I know you talked about Mama to Mama, the men riding bicycles. So what impact are they having, and what most inspired you with what these community people are doing? So
what inspired me most is that there is solidarity, there is awareness, that they go from house to house to check on the mothers. If she's pregnant, that you say, go to the facility. If she has a child, they check on the immunization. They show me the cards that they're looking at that. So they are taking care of each other. And they told me that because of their action, they have seen less disease. They also work on having water point in their community. The kids were going to get the water. They said the kids can go to school. However, they raised that also it's difficult sometimes to reach the villages that are a little bit further away. But other than that, they were really upbeat, and they do that for nothing. Nobody's paying them. It's all about community commitment to support one another. And they've been very generous. I was really left humbled that people have agency and they can make a big difference.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, the way you're saying it is even touching me. But this is Plateau Bauchi. Is your work just, is it extending?
Our work?
Yeah, I mean, is it just Bauchi and Plateau? Are you extending it to other states in the north, or?
So maybe to give you one example, we spoke about this Child Nutrition Fund. So we have 14 states in Nigeria that has committed over the past 2 years 3.9 billion naira. And that amounts something like $2.7 million US. So that's significant, but it's not enough. Because we estimate that there are 3 million children severely acutely malnourished in Nigeria. So we need to do more. I think as UNICEF, we have programs that are all over the country. For example, immunizing children. And children, we know that immunization addresses 6 out of the 10 killer diseases of children. I think that's something very important. So we have programs that go all over the country, and then we have programs that are a bit focused here. Thank you.
Oh, that's quite interesting. And then there's the 19 million pounds funding. You're partnering, UK is partnering with the federal government and UNICEF to launch climate resilient health and education facilities in Kano. And then, of course, you guys say thank you so much. UNICEF, Nigeria's country representative, Wafa Saeed, and how did I say it? More grace to your elbow for the work you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.